right, let's take some more questions. Steve, you got one, or do you want me to feed you one, buddy?
No, go ahead and give me one.
Joe says, "Hi, Steve. Any insights or exercises to work on muting and developing clean playing?"
Well, there's two things I can tell you. And again, it all depends on what context you're talking about. If you're strumming or something like that, it's a little bit different. But when you go to play, let's say I was going to...
Hey, you might want to minimize me, buddy.
Oh, sure. Let's say you were doing a melody, or you were going to do some soloing or something. When you start playing on stage and you play really loud, what you start realizing is unless you control all your strings all the time, you wind up with a whole lot of unwanted noise. Not that you don't notice that at lower volumes, but you really notice it when you get louder. So the one thing I always tell people is make sure when you're playing, the rock star element of playing is what people hear. The real element of playing is all the stuff you're controlling behind the scenes. So for instance, when I play, if I go to play this, I'm just going to the 10th fret of the second string. If I play that note, all the other strings are deadened at that point. So you'll notice this hand is touching. It's touching all the strings above the second fret, except the third string. The third string is actually being touched by the tips, one or more, of my fingers from my left hand. So they touch the third string right above. And why do I do that? So I've got a little leeway when I go to pick. So every time I shift, the tips of my fingers, again, one or more, are going to touch the string right above. And then everything else above that is being deadened by this hand. As I get into the thicker strings, everything is being deadened by my index finger, and again, maybe some other fingers, but those fingers are deadening the rest of those strings. So as I move, you see how somebody's always controlling all the strings? So you only hear the string that I want you to hear. Now, if I want more than one string, then of course those get adjusted a little bit, but I'm still touching all the strings on the outside. So that's how you learn how to control those strings. If you were strumming, let's say I was doing a power chord. Again, I'm deadening out the strings I don't want, so even though I want these three strings, these are deadened. So if I do accidentally strum them, you're not going to hear them anyway. If I was playing a fifth string power chord, the sixth string is deadened by my index finger. So I don't have to sit and be careful about like hitting, the right string or something like that. I just play, and I kill those strings with my fingers.